How do you stay confident in your craft when there are those missed opportunities?
It really depends on the specific movie, and it depends on the relationships involved. A lot of the films that I've interviewed for in the last year have been studio projects, and they're looking for somebody with a really specific time frame in mind. So there hasn't, I'm usually getting the script and then I have maybe 2 to 3 days between getting the script and interviewing. It depends on the film whether or not I'm able to put together a lookbook. But if I can, I love to put together a lookbook because it's a great way to share your point of view on the film. It's a great way to share the themes that you see in the movie. But also it can be difficult to put that together in a really short amount of time. And it's not always the right approach. I think the way that I've approached a movie after, interviewing, it's still just reaching out, expressing your gratitude, for the experience. Sometimes I don't have that option though, because the interview is set up between producers and my agent, and so you just express, the best way you can, through email, through text, whatever, you express your appreciation for their consideration, and you just have to hope that they resonate with your work and they resonate with what you said in the interview. If you have the opportunity to offer them a lookbook, that can be a really powerful way to express your point of view. In terms of holding on to your confidence after you do hear a no, that's something that we're all reckoning with. I think there's a couple things that I hold on to. One, you were in the room. You don't like to waste your time. I don't like to waste my time. They interviewed you because they thought you were a contender. That means that this person thought your work was worth looking at and that you were worth looking at out of the hundreds of other DPs that they could have talked to, the hundreds of other production designers or whatever. If you're pitching if you're pitching as a director, it's like this agency thought that your work was among the people who were capable of doing this and might be the right person to do this. So that's part one, I would say, is just recognizing that you were in the room, you're in the ring, you're a part of this. The second part of that is you can't control all of this. What's not meant for you won't end up in your lap, and what's meant for you will show up for you. And that feels cliche, and that feels like a little trite to say when you're going through that moment of rejection. But also, you don't want every job. Not every job is right for you. Not every job is a yes. You want somebody that's excited about you for the job because you want somebody that's going to believe in you and believe in the vision that you pitched in the meeting. So I think that's also kind of what I've learned to lean on. And you have to recognize that just because you didn't get this job, it doesn't take away anything that you've already done. I've had a couple larger films this year that I've interviewed for, and I don't know how many other DPs they were talking to, had great interviews and, was really happy with the experience. And I walked away from it and I said, I put everything I had on the line for that, and now I can't control what happens. And, it still took me that process of probably the 3 or 4 days of the build up, the interview, and then the post kind of post-mortem of it, and sort of recognizing I didn't get that. I got to let it go. I'm bummed out about that, but I got to move on and find the next thing.